Started riding my trike over this little mound of dirt when I was 3, and it never stopped after that.
I mountain bike because it's one of the most fun things I've ever done. You get to get out into nature, let's see different places, and just the rush you get from it is pretty hard to equal doing other things.
That ability to go out and climb a mountain, you know, and then come back down and enjoy that experience of riding back down.
I like mountain biking because it's just a really good way to get away from my desk and get out into a beautiful place and forget just for a little bit all the things that might be stressing me out at the time.
Nobody really takes it seriously at all. Like it's a pretty goofy bunch of guys. We just like to hang out and have fun, and we're probably like the only 5 people in UCSB that ride mountain bikes like regularly and seriously, so it's good to have a tight-knit group.
It's an awesome adventure. Mountain biking is an awesome adventure.
While it's a rare case of actual violence, the trail use debate has been simmering for years.
Mountain bikers and hikers beware, nails are being found on some of your favorite trails.
Over the weekend, bikers came across a buried spike strip near the Little Scraggy Trailhead in the Pike National Forest.
Marin County is known as the birthplace of mountain biking, but China Camp State Park is one of the few places in the entire county where bikes are allowed on trails.
Yeah, there is this tension, for sure.
Bikers want to get into the woods just like a hiker or an equestrian does. It's no different. We're looking to also enjoy just on a different mode of transportation.
Which trails should be open to mountain bikes, and how do you get everyone to play by the rules?
It'd be the perfect time to really address the mountain bike issue of some of the damage that the mountain bikes have caused on the trails over the years here. You look at the terrain, the geology, the incline. These inclines that create these boulders.
We had one death on Cold Springs Canyon up here of a horse, where the people were riding the horse and went up around a corner, and there's mountain bikers, and the horse went down, and it was like 150 feet all the way down to the creek.
I think the equestrian community felt threatened by mountain bikes. Mountain bikes felt threatened by equestrians and hikers because they felt that they were being excluded, or the trail should be kept off limits to them. So the whole community needed to go through a period of adjustment to learn to work better together and to appreciate each group's needs and interests.
There has to be a continued atmosphere of respect. And it's not just, 5 years or 10 years or 15 years down the line. And we're getting new people into this area. And also our teenagers are growing up and they're going to be adults using these trails. And if there's not continued education all the time, I think that the issues can pop up again.
Of the front country trails, which stretch from San Roque Canyon to Romero Canyon, approximately 2/3 of those trails were completely burned by the Thomas Fire.
The Thomas Fire roared back to life over the weekend as wind gusts hitting 70 miles per hour pushed the flames into the wealthy community of Montecito near Santa Barbara.
Concerns tonight in the Thomas Fire burn areas in Ventura County.
That fire is still not fully contained, believe it or not, and though this storm could finally put an end to it, it could also trigger mudslides.
Turn around! The flash flood's right there! The flash flood's right there! Get out of here! Go! Oh my God, Mom!
Flood damage, looking at what happened to Montecito and seeing houses just totally covered with boulders and smashed and all the reports and things like that, that was just really hard to take and to be out there covering. It's the first thing that I've covered where it was very hard to cover.
The trail's gone. So there's not even a repair trail there, it's gone. Literally the footprint was down in the canyon now. So it's going to be years in some areas before we get them back. Later this year, we're going to target some other ones. We're still waiting for the Forest Service and some of our volunteers that help with what's called assessment teams. We're going to go in and look at the damage, then formulate through all the different groups that are involved how we're going to rebuild these trails in those areas. There's a huge effort right now by a lot of people and interest, and we really hope to keep that going because it's going to take a focused, concerted effort for a number of years. I've never seen, there's places up Cold Springs where it's like the earth was wiped clean.
We're at the point right now we need to deal with A, the crisis, and B, working together enough to create kind of a model for working together.
Because it was a disaster and there's different mindsets about opening stuff right now or improving it better than it's ever been done before, which is a longer time period. There's a little bit of a conflict or disagreement on methodology right now.
It also represents an opportunity for all the agencies and the trail user groups, the foundations, to come together to recognize what their common interest is and to develop a plan for meeting it in a kind of cooperative and collaborative manner. Whereas in the past, we've kind of focused on each in our own little area.
The only way to be able to ride the trails again after the Thomas Fire is to go out and fix them. There's no money made out of the trails, so there's no businesses involved. It's just all going to be volunteer work. And if you want to see the trails come back and you want to be able to ride them, you're going to have to go out and fix them.
I feel like I have to earn the right to use it. I see a lot of people out here who use it and don't think about what gets put behind these trails. We don't have any one agency that does all the work here for us. It requires a collaboration, and that collaboration requires individuals. It's not just the city, it's not just the county. There's Santa Barbara Mountain Bike Trail Volunteers, there's the Santa Barbara Trail Coalition. It requires all of us to keep these trails open and passable and usable and safe.
If you don't have people out there, they're not going to care about it. So having really good trails is important to protect our big landscapes, like our national parks and our national monuments. If we don't get people out there, their size will get reduced or they'll disappear.
I think this particular situation has really brought people together not only to support each other, but to support all the organizations attempting to do what they can to, put the trail system back in working order. We notice the traffic is much increased throughout the other trails that are open, whether it's in Parma Park or Rattlesnake Canyon. The Jesucita Trail is much more heavily used by necessity.
With the increased use, we've seen the trail feeling the effects of that usage, and so it's a really good opportunity, particularly post-Thomas Fire, to come out and put some TLC and sustainable trail maintenance into Jesucita to withstand that use and to make it more enjoyable for the people and visitors of Santa Barbara.
Today is State Trails Day. It's one of the 3 events that we participate in as the City of Santa Barbara in a partnership called Front Country Trails. It's the City of Santa Barbara, County of Santa Barbara, U.S. Forest Service, and our nonprofit organizations like the Santa Barbara Trails Coalition, Santa Barbara Mountain Bike Volunteers, some trail runners. There's many other groups that participate on a time-to-time basis.
Today, as part of State Trails Day, we're reclaiming a user-created trail. The official trail corridor is over here on the left, and right behind me is a user-created trail just by people walking and riding through. Reclaiming or rehabilitating this trail includes breaking up all the compacted tread surface, so scarifying it, so both vegetation has an easier time growing back in and it's more unpleasant for people to walk on because it doesn't look like a trail anymore.
Well, a year ago we had a really big rain, and you can see how it's very kind of rutted and cupped out. The trail surface used to be, up to here. This was the trail in the past, and now this is really rutted and eroded. And so what we're doing is taking some large boulders, but now we're building more or less a rock armored trail surface. So that'll be more sustainable over time and be able to withstand not just the water, but all the hikers and bikers and equestrians and folks that come out and are on the trail.
I love to come back up here now after we've done an event and see how it changes the use that we've done on it, how it allows more people to access this and in a safe manner.
Working with SBMTV it's really rewarding, and you get a sense that you actually did something that made a difference. Like at the end of the day, you have like a pretty tangible result going home because you got a group of 15, 20 people to just focus on one trail or a specific spot on the trail. You know, without going out to dig days like they have, it's pretty much the only way that the trail is going to get maintained. And having an opportunity to go out and do that is pretty rewarding.
People are getting along now. The Bell program has helped out significantly, and I think people are just being nicer right now because of the disaster that we had. And they're learning. They're learning, so I think that's going to continue as trails open back up. The SBMTV Bell program started in 2000, and it was just a couple of guys getting together, wondering what we could do about reducing social conflict on the trail.
The concept of a bike bell or bear bell, which they were traditionally used for, to alert other trail users that you're coming down the trail, has been huge. And SBMTV distributes about 2,000 bells a year or something like that. When you're riding here in Santa Barbara, it's very, and how about that? Perfect example of the bike bell. We can hear this rider coming down the trail. It gives us the opportunity to either, if we want to, get off. Thanks for the bell. You hear a lot of that, thanks for the bell, And isn't that nice versus, maybe being surprised by someone kind of coming down the trail?
If you don't have a bell, people are usually a little bit less likely to get out of your way or say have a good day. Sometimes, people give you like a pretty strong reminder to carry a bell next time, which is definitely understandable.
Before these trails were here, they just exist. We don't know how they exist, but we lost them. Now we're like, we got to take care of them more. They're more aware of what's going on. So now we're sharing better. The dedication and the passion that's been put into the trail advocacy and talking about user etiquette and putting effort into the Bell program just to make the trail environment better for the whole community, not just the mountain bike community, but interest in improving trails for the whole community, which is a pretty awesome thing for a mountain bike organization to do.
The community in Santa Barbara and SBMTV in particular is definitely one of the most committed groups of people that I've run into just regarding trail maintenance and trail access and just getting people out on bikes.
Riding by yourself, riding with your friends. We have a great mountain biking community here in town, particularly within SBMTV.
And even when we're not riding, like we all hang out on the weekends and after school and surf together. So it's a good group of guys even outside of the riding.
The movement or the flow through the landscape is something that I really enjoy. I found some sort of connection both with the earth and the outside and like a tactile sense of feeling what's underneath me through the bike.
It's really just you maxing out your mind, like your concentration, your focus, and your body as much as you can go.
You can feel a sense of flow that can give you kind of like a Zen-like experience.
It's a great thing to be a part of.